Hi, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Do you want to decorate like a pro and create spaces that feel both luxurious and functional? Today I'm taking you inside my design studio to share the secrets of pro decorators. I'm going to dive into lots of tips and tricks to help you decorate your spaces. Remember, a good color palette can make or break your room. Look at your room like a canvas, and the color can really enhance it. Here are some examples of projects I've completed just to show you how color can enhance the space. In this first image, you can see that I use this beautiful deep green that feels very earthy and rich. And I think it's the perfect backdrop for the gilt furniture that the client had, like the mirror and the artwork. So this color is called Fringe Green, and it's by Porter's Paints. So it's a beautiful deep green, and you'll also notice how I used that color and color drenched it onto the ceiling, which is a great way to get character and warmth into a ceiling, especially if it's very high. In this small bathroom space, I went with a colour scheme of all greens and blacks. You can see on the upper walls, I did the colour Teresa's Green by Farrow & Ball. So it's like a fun contemporary green that feels nice and fresh. And I also used the colour Green Smoke by Farrow & Ball on the vanity unit. So that's a good combination of using two types of green in the one space. Now in this room you can see a beautiful off-white. I've used Farrow & Ball's slipper satin, and something like that can be really expansive in an open plan space, especially if you've a kitchen, living, dining together, and it has a nice little warm undertone as well. Now from those examples you can see the importance of neutrals, especially in open plan spaces, and I think they're a great one for the majority of people if they're decorating their homes. So think of your off-whites, your beiges, your warm greys for your open plan space. And also it shows you the importance of bringing in some color. One of my favorite colors is green, so I use that in a lot of my projects, and you can see just with that right color on your canvas how much of a difference you can make to your space. Layering is one of the most powerful techniques in interior design. It creates depth, texture, and it brings materiality and a layered sense to any space. As you can see with this materials board, it's all really neutral, but it just goes to show that even if you've a neutral, luxurious color palette planned, once you layer up the type of materials you're using, it becomes dynamic and interesting. Here I have marble mixed with really woven jute rug. I have a tweed style wool cushion. I have almost like a mohair type velvet, and I've mixed that with a bronze metal and a beigey warm lime wash for the walls. So all very similar, neutral color palette, but it still feels interesting because of the mix of materials. In this kitchen, just to make it more visually interesting, I used Zeliage tile on the wall mixed with a beautiful oyster white marble. So you can see by using these two materials and then the nice soft blue painted on the cabinetry, it really just comes to life and elevates it to a different type of finish altogether. Furniture placement is key to making a room work. It's all about the functionality, it's all about zoning the spaces and making sure it feels like it flows in your home. Here I'm going to show you some of my ideas on how to zone your spaces and place your furniture. It's all about creating distinct areas for conversation, work, and relaxation. Take this project as an example. It's an open plan space, and in here we needed a kitchen with an island, a very large sofa area where the family could relax, and a dining space, all within the same open room plan. You can see in the dining area, I put a rug in to anchor the feeling of the dining space and dropped a light low over the dining table, and then used some interesting wall art. And in the living space, what I did was a very large area rug, a U-shaped sofa with an occasional chair beside it, a square coffee table, and that makes it feel like you're in the living space, even though it's within that large room. So think about your furniture placement and zoning if you're decorating your space. Now we're going to discuss the importance of art and choosing art for your room. Art is more than just decoration. For me, it can be the finishing touch or the icing on the cake that sets the tone and finishes the whole room. In my own home, I used a collection of art that I had picked up at auctions over time. They're just original and they're all very different with different colours, and I love introducing art into interiors because it's a great way to bring colour and personality, and you can always pick up the art and move it to another room if you're tired of it. Also, the statement piece doesn't have to be expensive. It can just be the right thing in the right space. I know recently we found an amazing piece of art in our client's garage when we were doing a photo shoot, and it's a bull, and when we put it in the space, it just set off the interior design so much. So play around with holding up art, looking at the colors in your space, and remember, it does bring a lovely personal touch as well, which makes your interior your own, which I'm all about. So make sure to think about those personal pieces in your home interior. To wrap things up, designing a space that feels both professional and personal comes down to a few of the key points we discussed today. Layering your materials, playing around with layering all of those different finishes. Your artwork, it needs to bring that personal touch or a little bit of color to elevate your space. Furniture placement is absolutely key. You need to work on zoning those areas to make everything work. And lastly, it's all about color. Color is such a great tool. It's easy to use, so make sure you play around with your color palettes in your home. I hope you enjoyed this video. We will have more videos coming up soon. And as always, please like and subscribe. And if you want to comment below, I'd love to hear from you. I love replying back to your comments. And thank you for all of your support so far. Thank you. Bye.